Hello, and thank you for joining us here at the Overwatch podcast. I am SumWhiteDood. Let's begin. In this episode, I want to talk about solo carry heroes. So these are characters that you can pick if you're in bronze and you have 5 DPS and nobody picks a healer or a tank. The first one we're going to go with is Soldier 76. Soldier 76 heals are not the strongest and the cooldown is kind of long, about 15 seconds. But the supplemental heals do help. He also deals damage, so he deals a decent amount of damage, especially if you can aim. Typically, I burst fire at long range with his rifle. I think the hits register better, but closer range, I try and spray, like when I'm up against a tank especially. You can hold down the trigger. But yeah, burst fire long range, up close, you can spray. But he does a decent amount of damage. Then, if you use his Helix rocket at the end, it generally finishes off the target. So a lot of times I'll jump down off a building, focus them down depending on the range, either burst or spray, and then shoot a Helix rocket at them, and that generally kills them off. I also use his sprint and quick movement speed to dodge foes. So if somebody's shooting at me, I'll just sprint around them in circles while still spraying them down. Generally, if they don't have very good aim, you can get away from this safely and get the kill. Ultimate is pretty amazing. I mean, if you use it correctly, get to a high vantage point and drop down, you can generally mow down half the team, if not more. So like I said, I'll get up to a building, drop behind them while popping it while I'm falling, and then just go ham. The second hero on our list today is Ana. Ana, again, is a very good utility character, just like Soldier 76. First off, let's talk about her healing. Ana has 2 main ways to heal. She has a biotic grenade and a biotic rifle. Her biotic rifle, you can either scope in or hip fire. If you're scoped in, it's going to instantly heal the target that you shoot. If you hip fire, it takes a split second and then it heals the target that you shoot. Her biotic grenade is like a splash AoE healing. So you throw it, it'll splash up and heal the teammates that are in that radius. Otherwise, if you want to heal yourself, you just throw it at the ground, it splashes up and heals you. So that's awesome. The other thing I'd like to talk about is her sleep dart. I mean, there's not much to say. You can fucking sleep people, which is just amazing. Really not much more to that. If you can aim, or at least kind of aim in that direction, this skill is super useful, because if you hope to hit them, and you do, you'll incapacitate a tank or maybe a prime DPS while you escape and or wait for your team to get there. Let's just say you're trying to hold a point solo. Last second of the game, you're running out of time, you're the only one on the point, D.Va's chasing you around, you're about to die. I'll throw a grenade at the ground, heal myself, turn around, sleep dart her. She's asleep right now, so this buys you time till your team shows up. Another thing I'd like to talk about is her ultimate ability. This is super useful. It's called the Nano Boost. So you can power up teammates. So you'll shoot them with this Nano Boost, power up the teammates, and make their ultimates much stronger, and or just power up someone like D.Va, who doesn't have to reload her guns, and she can just go crazy. And so she'll do much, much more damage. That's pretty much it with Ana. I mean, she's a great character to choose. Let's go on to some other ones on our list. The third hero on our list is Roadhog. I've said it before and I will say it again. Utility, utility, utility. Utility is what keeps you alive and what keeps you making up for what your team is not doing, which there's going to be a lot of not doing in bronze. I will put that out there if you are not familiar with the bronze hell, as they say. Roadhog has a massive self-heal and the cooldown isn't very long at all for what it is. This should be able to keep you alive through most fights if, let's say, you have 0 healers, which again isn't uncommon in bronze. He also has his hook. You can pull people in and finish them off, or you can pull someone away from a damaged teammate to save their life. And you can also pull people in and let them fall off ledges, over bridges, different things like that. It's up to you. He then has short and long range gun. Both do pretty massive damage. The long range one does more damage, it seems, but you have to be able to aim with it, when the close range is more like how a shotgun spreads out, so it's a lot easier to hit with it. Then on to his ultimate ability. It may not be the best one in the game, or at least my favorite, but it definitely will clear a whole team if they're grouped together or paired with another hero's ultimate that I will get into in 1 second. So Roadhog's whole hog is kind of, he like pops it, boom, and he just starts spraying off with his gun in all sorts of directions. If you can keep it under control, he's like bouncing. Yeah, it definitely does a good amount of damage, and like I said, it can clear out a whole team, especially if it's behind them. That's my favorite, is to come around, flank, and then pop his ultimate at that point when they're not paying attention. So Reinhardt, Orisa, nobody can shield it. On to our fourth and final hero of the day, which is Zarya. Okay, so in Bronze, Zarya isn't super popular. I mean, she just isn't played very much. She can be great, especially in the low SR ratings, because people don't really know how to use her or her different abilities and how they work. So she has a bubble, which is like a protection aura. So it goes over her, and she can also shoot it at one of her friendly teammates to protect them. And what people don't know is that when she's covered in that bubble, people shoot at it. They do. They just think, oh, I'll burn it down and then start to hurt her. But really what that does is that actually gives her more damage. That increases the damage that she does and makes her easily one of the most overpowered damage dealers in the game. So after that, her particle cannon. So this does splash damage as well as beam damage. And it can do a decent amount. And her ultimate is amazing. It can pretty much be paired with any other character's ult. So what it does is it shoots an orb, it grabs them all and kind of holds them there. So pretty much you use Hanzo's ult, Reinhardt's ult, D.Va's ult with it. I mean, it pairs with anything because it holds them still while you murder their faces. I would put her as the last of all carry heroes, but she's definitely a very good choice, especially with people not knowing what they're doing and how to counter her, like they will in the later SRs. So, we went over some great options today on what you can do to carry your team in comp mode, in bronze, and now I want to focus on something which is my favorite solo carry hero. My opinion does not matter, but my favorite solo carry hero is D.Va. She's my favorite because she has defense matrix. So you can literally defense matrix and shut down almost every ult in the game. It's literally overpowered. Also, any incoming bullets or orbs, anything somebody can shoot at you, you can pretty much deflect with defense matrix and protect your whole team. Farrah comes up, launches her missiles, shut down. Then she can fly. So there's that. I mean, you can sneak behind and flank, get to places others can't. It also makes you harder to hit. You can also distract the whole other enemy team and bait them away from the point while your team pushes it forward because you're flying around distracting them, fly away. People will chase you, think they can kill you, and it's just wasting their time. Then she has her missiles. These things do a lot of damage, and you can also use them while using your defense matrix. So they work together very well. Then her guns. You never have to reload. You can do a lot of damage over a large area just spraying, again, because you don't have to reload. I mean, you can't ask for much more. I personally love to defense matrix while you're heading towards like a bastion or a turret. So I fly up defense matrix, drop the missiles, then I finish him off with a gunfire as I move around him sideways to make me a much harder target to hit. So that's it. We went over her skills. That's why I think she's the best solo carry hero. She can fly. She's got missiles. She has a defense matrix that can prevent almost any ult. And she doesn't have to reload. So if you disagree, come at me. That's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us here on the Overwatch podcast. I am SumWhiteDood. See you guys later.